And to updates on the planned removal of fuel subsidy, President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Wabba, has disclosed that the leaders of the Congress will meet with necessary organs to decide their next line of action after federal government's indefinite suspension of fuel subsidy removal. In a telephone interview with TVC News, Ayuba Wabba says NLC's resolution on this latest development is not a one-man decision. The NLC President assures Nigerians that the position of the Congress on the planned national protest against fuel subsidy removal will be made public after due consultations. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed on Monday disclosed that the federal government will no longer remove fuel subsidy but make additional provisions for fuel subsidy in the 2022 budget. And I have joining me the Chairman Board of Trustees, Leaders Society of Nigeria, Dr. Philip Idao. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Precious, for having me.
So this started with the almost like a definite statement, as it were, that the federal government was going to remove fuel subsidy. And then it moved to, it was going to stay until June because that's where the budget that the federal government has for it. And now we're hearing that it is going to stay on probably till the end of the year because additional budget is now being made for fuel subsidy. When you look at how the issue of fuel subsidy has gone in the country, let's even look at it since 2012, the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan, what do you make of how we're handling the issue of fuel subsidy?
Thank you. I think that looking the whole idea, the whole concept around this issue of fuel subsidy, I mean, is confusing actually to me. And I think that to most Nigerians, that is the same question. And so you have all, a litany of ideas of this problem. And indeed, our president now, when he was campaigning to contest election, himself said that he didn't understand why, we should be talking about fuel subsidy. So it remains a very confusing subject to me because whichever way you look at this issue, however any government in power will want to deal with it, I think that Nigerians, as the true owners of the fuel that we are talking about, don't forget, every resource deposit in Nigeria belongs to Nigerians. And the Nigerian people, they are our most important, our most significant resource base. They own these resources. I believe that it is time our political leaders begin to take the Nigerian people as stakeholders in making these kind of difficult decisions. We are still going to keep running around in circles even after President Buhari leaves office.
Absolutely, Dr. Idao. I'm sorry, let me just jump in because I find very interesting the statement you just made. The fact that we're going to keep running in circles. And you're right about the confusion. And I think a lot of Nigerians are confused because when you look at those in 2012 who came out for the Occupy Nigeria protest, some of them are now saying, let's remove fuel subsidy. So people are confused as to, is it a good thing or is it not a good thing? Do you think that we have also mixed it with politics? So it's a bit difficult to understand the economics of it.
I think the question of politics being mixed with this problem is probably, I use the word probably very, very decidedly, is part of the problem. But I think that that will probably, because our political leaders are not as focused and as firm as they should be on this issue. First of all, we have to ask ourselves, what are we subsidizing? Two, if we truly needed to subsidize fuel, for whose benefit? Number three, have we taken time as political leaders of Nigeria to bring this issue and debate it, lay it on the table before the Nigerian people? I hate to say this. I do not accept that this is a decision that a few individuals need to contribute to making. The Nigerian people needs to be given an opportunity to know the facts of this problem, contribute to making a decision, and charting a common way forward for all of us. It is an issue that affects all of us. It affects how much food we have on our, in our refrigerators, on our table.
Absolutely.
It affects how we are able to take care of our children. It affects the security situation in our country. It affects our capability to deploy, our other elements, in the way we relate with our neighboring countries. It affects everything. It affects our capacity to prepare for the future.
And does this, Doctor, does this underscore our the very issue that almost everyone, especially economists, have been stating for years now, which borders on our over-reliance on fuel or petrol, whether as a main source of revenue for economy, or even just in our individual lives, businesses rely on it. Do you think that this really does underscore that fact?
Precious, I think that every country will rely on one item or the other for their source of income. Every country. Ours is fuel. There are other countries that are relying on fuel, and they are doing brilliantly well. So there is something wrong in the way we have managed our reliance on fuel. But if you ask me personally what I think we should be investing in and relying on, it is our most precious, our best gift. That is our human capacity. That is what we should be relying on. That is what we should be investing in. That is what we should be developing. Because the fuel itself will not develop itself. We are having this problem of fuel because, our human capability is limited in a way. If we are pouring the resources we are pouring into subsidy in developing the Nigerian people, in taking care of the Nigerian people critically, our education and healthcare, if we were pouring this resource into it, it would be the case, in my view, that the resolution of the problems of fuel subsidy, nobody will talk about it. Nobody will be quarreling that the cost of petrol needed to be low. If people were assured that if today the pump price goes up, but they are sure that they can go into a clinic or a hospital and have access to healthcare without having to pay for it at the point of need. If they are sure that their children will have access to quality education from primary through to university, if they are assured that the environment in which they live is better taken care of, if they are assured of their security.
So basically, people have to be assured of the dividends of democracy. And once they are assured that benefits, then we can talk about fuel subsidy removal. Thank you so much for your thought on this. It has indeed been thought-provoking. Chairman, Board of Trustees, Leaders Society of Nigeria, Dr. Philip Idao.